Welcome, welcome. Okay, the topic today is it's going to be a few things. The main event is just basic human psychology and tribalism and how it affects the world. There's a lot of things going on in the world, things on a micro level, things going on a macro level. The point is the world is changing, and unfortunately, it's not for the better. And there are some good things, though. All right. So I'm just going to start out some quick hits, just about some things that are going on in the world. Okay, so first of all, in Mexico, this is actually a good thing. We have Mexican citizens that are protesting the World Cup spending. As you know, Mexico City currently has a serious water infrastructure and water shortage in the country. It's not just in Mexico City, but throughout Mexico. There's a lot of things going on. Of course, like I said, we have the water shortage in Mexico City, Monterrey, and northern states. When Mexico has water on both ends of the country, they have the ocean to where they can take the water out of the ocean and make water for people. Water is a need, a very important need that must be done. I don't understand why no company has just not already built the desalination plants. There's no discussion on whether if a desalination plant should be built, but they want that hazard because people can make money off of. This is a money grab on it, and I think this will, at the end of the day, will destroy human society. The need for money outweigh the needs for humans, and in time we end up destroying ourselves for it. And then there also is the cartel violence and the rising living costs, which is fueling anger. We've seen similar protests in Mexico, really in Mexico City, about foreigners, expats that are living in Mexico, driving up the prices because they pay in American dollars. Okay? And with all this going on, the Mexican government and cities are spending money on the World Cup. Not that at the long run, it's not going to help its people. It's going to put some money in some people's pocket, but for the masses, they will not benefit from it. Many people use events such like the World Cup to put their country in the map, but Mexico's already on the map. Everybody knows of Mexico on it. It's just another example of government waste, and it just shows that it's not just in the United States that this occurred. This is worldwide. And of course, we have the Middle East and oil problems. Are we shocked? This is something new. No, it's not nothing new. Currently in the Middle East, we have where Israel continues its strikes on Lebanon, saying that they're trying to destroy Hamas, even though psychologists said for every child that is killed, more Hamas, more terrorists, and more hatred towards Israel grows. So what is the true reason for this? Only the people in the power and in those rooms where these decisions are made know, but we know it's somehow connected to oil. Everything that goes on in the Middle East is connected to oil. And that also adds to the other war that's going on there. We have the US and Israel versus Iran. Really it's US versus Iran, because if it wasn't for the United States, Iran would have already got rid of Israel on it. And here's a big thing that has come out, is a big note. Something that I thought they've had since the 70s. There are also serious information that Iran does have a nuclear weapon. Me personally, I believe that Iran had the nuclear weapon since the 1970s. Yes, it's called secrecy. I believe that they already had it. And what the U.S. is trying to prevent them from having is having the nuclear weapons that the United States have. However, Iran doesn't need that. They just need enough bombs just to make the people around them scary, even though they can destroy the United States with that as well on it. But the biggest reason why they don't want Iran to have the weaponry, so they want control. Israel wants control of that entire region, and they almost have it, except for this country of Iran. And the Persians are just like the Afghans. They are not just going to give up. You got to realize you're dealing with Persians. These are not the Iraqis. These are not the Syrians. These are Persians. Their land has been around for a very, 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 very long time, and then more years after that. The Persian Empire used to be very big. And in this case, so far, the biggest winners in this war is the oil companies. The oil companies and people that know how to short futures and go long on futures. They're making a lot of money. And of course, the defense contractors in Israel, in China, and of course, the United States, they're getting their money too. And the biggest losers are the soldiers that are dying for nothing. Civilians are dying as well. As we remember, a school was hit, and a lot of school children were killed on this, and that's not a good thing. Also, we have displaced families. Lebanon is a very dense area, so when you send a missile in there to try to take out a terrorist organization, you're going to kill civilians on it, and that does not make the world a better place. And also worldwide, this to me is by design. This is called energy volatility. That's pushed the global inflation higher because the cost of energy is higher. This is coordinated throughout the world because honestly, I do not understand with the technology that we have, we don't necessarily need oil. Biodiesel cannot really fuel cars at this time, but they can fuel as a power resource to basic buildings because they can generate basic electricity, and we make biofuel naturally through human waste, through animal waste on it, but that's not being pushed now. There are ways to fix this. This is an example of very wealthy people, the true people in charge of this world, passing their wealth on to their children. And we'll see what happens. Okay, this is something that has been issue in the United States, but also in Europe. Due to the minimum wage increase that for a living wage, it has put a lot of teenagers and young people out of work. Jobs that teens used to do, cleaning up, washing dishes, are now being done by adults because those jobs are very minimal. They were for children in high school. And that's something that I think we need to push more for because it is a building block for young people between the age of 13 and 15. And yes, I did say 13. People as young as 13 can have jobs and should have jobs and start doing job training. And it's a bigger issue behind that, something that should be pushed in school and through our school system. If we can have 13 years old playing sports and learning sports, they can also be learning jobs. And that's something else that we need to build in our schools. 1 second, got a commercial. We have the football team, basketball team, soccer team, track team, cross-country team, all those teams. Now we need a job skills team. After school or even during school. We have to find it where these kids are learning. We start at 13, washing clothes, ironing clothes, how to change a battery in a smoke detector. Yes, I know it seems like something simple, but it's a big thing. It teaches basic maintenance in a home. Something that a young boy can do for his mom, and the mom will like that. If the garbage disposal is stopped up, he knows how to unclog it, or at least he will try. He knows to turn off the power, make sure the power is off. The smoke detector, he knows go down to Home Depot. If his mom's got $5, or just their mom, let me get $5 and go get a smoke detector, so I can get a battery so I can put it up in the smoke detector, get this taken care of. And also, they're learning how to clean up, just basic cleaning jobs. That's something that they can take home to keep a clean home, and the importance of keeping a clean home. That's something a teenager can do. Teenage girls watching children. Teenage girls used to always babysit. Starting when they're 13, they will look after the young kids, 5, 6, 7, years old and play with them, take them to the park and stuff like that. Or if it's just in a home, they just watch them. Make sure they have something to do, they have lunch and stuff like that. But due to the minimum age hike, a lot of older people are not understanding you're putting teenagers out of work, and that is not a good thing. But of course, once again, the wealthy does not push this. I do not understand this. And we have news out of Africa. Yes, the Ebola virus has returned again and is rapidly spreading. They had got a hold of it, but it's spreading fast. Again, this shows that the true source of Ebola, the people have not got control of it. People are still eating the monkey meat. That's wild meat in the woods. They're killing animals and then eating them. And they're not cows. These aren't rabbits, and the animals aren't tested for diseases. And I believe this was spreads to Ebola on it. And then also, when the doctors tell people that people have Ebola and they die, the people still want to touch them and hug them one last time, but they do not know now they have infected themselves with Ebola. If people suspected of having Ebola die, you do not touch the body. You do not touch anything. Anything they have, you burn it to the ground. Any fluid must be destroyed. That means the beds that they were sleeping in. That's why you see the people here with the suits on. You need special people to do that. Burn down the hut. We can build another hut. Even after the fire is burn it real good, you can build right back on that same spot. On there, just dig it all out, take it away, okay, it's good to go. But sadly, the Ebola virus is spreading again, and it does need to be taking a look at it. We do not need this spreading throughout the continent, because if it takes the continent of Africa, then it will take the rest of the world. And that's just science. All right, and now we got to get into the distractions of the world. We do not want you to think about inflation. We do not want you to think about the fact that our government is horrible leadership throughout the world, not just in the United States. But this is just in the United States. Okay, so we got the Karmelo Anthony trial. That's where one teenager stabs one teenager in the heart and kills him at a football game. And this has been pending for some time. I wish they would have got this done a lot quicker on this, but listen to me, it's a very, very unique point on this. The entire jury is of the same group of people, Caucasian, and that is a problem. And this is not a black and white issue. If he is found innocent, they will say that it's white guilt that found him innocent. If he is found guilty, they're going to say that it's racism because the jury was all white. So I'm going to say that again. If Karmelo is found guilty, they're going to say it's racism because the jury was all white. If he's found innocent, people will complain that it was just white guilt that found him guilty. Well, no, innocent, found him innocent. White guilt found him innocent, sorry. But the basic of the case is 2 teenagers got into a fight at a football game. One team pulls out a knife and stabs one team in the heart and kills them. Very sad story. There's a lot of cases on that. The basic thing we had one teenager had his fist fighting. Another teenager pulls a knife, had a weapon on school grounds. That's something you must know, on school grounds. It's happening. This was not on the street. This was not at somebody's home. It's at a school event. So that's going to play a heavy role on this. So you asked me what I think. I wasn't there, but in this case, I believe Karmelo Anthony is guilty of manslaughter. And I say this because he didn't mean to kill him. He probably was defending himself. But one kid had his fist and another kid had his knife. The kid with the knife maybe could have backed out, got underneath that tent, left the bleacher, could have evaded. But then that's where we go to teenagers. And that's why at schools they say do not have weapons, because they do not want teenagers with weapons in their hands, because it can lead to bad things and lead to cases such as this. And then we have another case, Mr. Chow. This incident occurred some years ago, but it's just now being pushed into the media right now, and it is being pushed. It's being pushed by social media. Many people are just doing it for likes and clickbait, trying to make money off this. They don't care about Mr. Chow. They don't care about that kid that got killed. They don't care. They're just trying to, oh, this is getting a lot of clicks, so let's do this. And I know some people say, well, you're doing too. I'm just doing a minor thing on this. But the biggest thing on this we had where a kid went to a grocery store, had no money, thought about stealing some water. However, the wife of Mr. Chow actually stopped him without weapons. He saw her watching him, and she was able to, he ended up putting the water bottles back, and then he left. But being fed up, sick of theft, which a lot of store clerks are, they ran after him to get him because they're sick of the theft on this. And then you also have to look at the location. This was in a very poor ghetto neighborhood. That's the truth of it. Violence, robbery, theft happened at that gas station all the time. Okay? So when Mr. Chow and his son was chasing him, somehow the gun, Mr. Chow was armed, but the teenager, a gun came out. Some said it fell out, some said he pointed it. You really don't know. But we know that the teen had a gun. And then within a split second, the teen was shot. And that's a bad case. And people are choosing sides, who was in the right or wrong. Well, the biggest thing you should be asked, what is a 14-year-old doing with a gun? How did the 14-year-old get that gun? That should be the person that should be looked at. Where did he get that gun? Let's charge that person. Because if that 14-year-old did not have that gun, I believe he'll be alive today. And two, we don't know if he had that gun. Was he doing other malicious crimes with that gun? Or was he just carrying it to be cool? We don't know. The jury found Mr. Chow not guilty, which is said to be the true, could be the right thing. Mr. Chow he sat in jail for 3 years, and honestly, the kid could have pointed that gun at him. He shot him. The kid was scared. Both of them were scared. I believe that's Mr. Chow was scared that his son was going to shot. I believe the teen had a gun. He was scared. That might be why he ended up dropping it. Some say he dropped it because he could have been trying to point it if he's so nervous that he drops out of his head. You don't know. But what was that teenager doing with that gun? Find the person that gave that teen that gun, put him in jail for many years. Because that person that gave that kid that gun is responsible for his death. 1 second.
Bold new features. Get paired with our newest fleet yet.
Starbucks coffee. Okay, back to what I was saying. Yeah, the person that put that gun in that kid's hands is the one that's responsible, and that's the person that should be in jail for it. And all of this bleeds into something else, because now people want to jump on the bandwagon of whose side you're on, who team you're on. Very low IQ statements. Some of it I know it's clickbait, people just trying to get likes and clicks for the algorithm on it, but a lot of it is just people quick to jump on a bandwagon to be against another group of people. Each way you go back for, yes, there's issues between the Asian community and the black community, but some Asian and blacks get along. I get along with Asian people. Some people don't like you, but some people, they just let you go. Some of the things that people are doing online and said they're doing online is, it does not help. It's non-thinking, I would say it is. It's just reaction, emotional. And that's why I believe this is pushing. And the media loves racial events because it keeps the divide going. And that's what people want, division. A divided people can never ever defeat their government. And I'll say that last time, a divided people can never defeat their government. And people are divided, and that's why we're losing in this country, worldwide as well. And speaking of a divided area, and an area where government is doing bad, we have the California elections. Many California cities are going through elections, but two important elections are going on. First, we have the California election for governor. Governor is really, really important. Me, myself, I'm in California. I voted for Mr. Tom Sayer. I believe as a businessman, he can turn California around. He is a bit of a lib, but I don't think he's a libtard. There's a difference between a liberal and then libtard. These people are idiots. They are full-blown morons and idiots, and they don't understand basic governance, and they think the money is just going to continue to flow. But California, such as Los Angeles, can be turned around. We just need to turn around on crime, all types of crime. The general crime that you can see, and then other crimes such as lack of registering a car, insurance fraud, Medicare fraud. The Leering Center fraud and the Medicare fraud that is going on is worth billions. And it could be, if that money could be taken, just like how Miami was built when they took all the drug money, they can take all this fraud money and they can rebuild the city. Because that's just basically what Los Angeles needs. Just needs a rebuild. And to me, the city of LA is like a scene of that whole area. I know it's different LA. You got Los Angeles, you got Burbank, you got Irvine, to me, all of that is LA. It's one just big metropolis of it. And it can be just a beautiful place if people want it to be. It can look like Dubai. You have a lot of people there that want to work hard. It's just the criminal element just needs to be dealt with. When I mean dealt with, some of them people just need to be rehabilitated, because some of the people can't be rehabilitated with the proper job training and stuff like that, and the opportunity, and they will do well. But some people are just demons and just need to go. The homelessness and these daggone non-for-profit profits. I'm a non-profit. I make $1 million a year. They're not really non-profit on it, and they need to get dealt with it as well and be removed and charged with the fraud that they do. And that's why you need better leadership, and that's why the governor in the election for Los Angeles is so important. So important. This has all happened before. People think it's not important, but it is. It's 1970 all over again. This can be fixed. And speaking of clickbait, yes, YouTube is becoming very clickbait. I've been watching YouTube long before I started making these videos on it, and I got away from YouTube from TV over to YouTube because I like real life stuff. But now it's coming, the creation is going away. It's like a drama movie. You got people doing the rage baiting. That's where people come in and scream and yell and say, I have fatigue, I hate this group of people. And then you have people with the race baiting. They'll come and say, screw the Jews. They'll say, screw the blacks. And then other people come in, screw the white people. Oh, we don't like the Latino. Deport them all. And it's just rage and just negativity. And they push it because it gets clicks and likes. And then you got the fake podcasts that create conflicts. They'll invite women on the podcast, and it's staged for the women to get kicked out. It is all staged. When shows kick women off and they get heated, that's all staged. Those women are paid to do that. That's why they come to the show. That's just their job there is to stir up drama for clicks and likes. And yeah, we got the outrage videos where people come and talk about their outrage, but they don't really do anything. It's just for clicks and likes. It's Jerry Springer TV. It's starting to get just like Jerry. You had Anton Daniels, Corey Holcomb blow up, but that wasn't even real. That was fake. It kind of went left them, I think, what they wanted it to go, but it did go. I don't know. And it's kind of destroying YouTube. I think YouTube is getting on it because they're demonetizing people. Some people are keeping it going. Just to make it a show, y'all, people come in and talk about Israel and Jews for the clicks and likes, and then you also have people just walking around, just messing with people, calling black people nigger just to get fucking clicks and views on it, and stuff like that, and just be a nuisance. You saw this like with Johnny Somali in Japan and Korea, and it's more people like that just doing crazy stuff just for clicks and views. I don't know, but it's some cracking down starting on this, and that's what leads to the teen takeovers and stuff, that they want to see it on YouTube. We'll see. And that brings us to the main topic: human tribalism, the hidden power structure. Elites have learned a long time ago, in order for them to stay in power, they must keep the regular people divided. So while communities fight each other over skin tone, culture, and ideology, which you can see within the African American community, the Mexican community, the white communities, all different type of communities. trans, gay, straight, LGBTQ, all this stuff. People forget that we're all interconnected. But it's best for the rich and powerful, especially the government people of power, Gavin Newsom, to keep us fighting against ourselves so we don't see the real issues. And America does have serious issues. I am America first. I am not MAGA. I'm America first. I am not MAGA. Once again, I am America first, not MAGA. One reason I'm that is because America has serious economic issues at this time. Wages are lagging behind as inflation grows. The AI industrial era has been upon us, more tech, and it's not that good. Even the AI itself is said to replace people. It's not doing a great job. I mean, it's helping. It's a little bit advanced, but it's not that great at this current time. So some people have lost their jobs and they found other jobs, but they're not quite making the money that they once did. Other people with certain jobs are barely hanging on at this time, trying to pay bills. And also people that are making money, they're spending money on stupid things. They had that new AP watch or whatever release, and people are lined up to get it during economic time. We got the new Jordans release, people are there. Got some stupid new handbag that women are running to. People are doing poor financial literacy. Even with buying cars, people are buying cars and they don't understand what they're signing. They are overpaying for cars. They have a horrible contract, and they're just it's affecting our society. And that is commercial, I want to say number 3. 1 second. All right, we're back. Okay, yeah. And then also, this goes back earlier when I was talking about the shrinking youth jobs. Even college students coming out of college are having trouble finding the jobs. We need a jobs program. We need a jobs program. Honestly, I think it should be illegal for any man not to have a job. And we push it. We push it hard. The reason why I censor women out, because women can get pregnant and they won't have the ability to work all the time. But men should work, unless they have some medical reason they can't work. But it needs to be pushed. Of course, the masses don't, because part of the crime is part of money. People make money off crime. It'll help our youth, but our youth are lost and they really need help. And that pushes me into my next thing, social issues. We have the rising crime, which I believe the crime laws were changed because they want to put in people's head that they could commit crimes and nothing's gonna happen. But of course now, certain cities are getting sick of it and they're pushing back, okay? As you can see in certain places, parents are being charged with what crimes teens do. Judges are being called out for letting career criminals out, and people are fed up with the crime of it. And some cities are actually still letting the crime happen. It's like they want it to happen. In those cities, I'll call them out. We have Brandon Johnson in Chicago. Brandon Johnson, horrible mayor. And that brings the social issues of the African American community, and how the Democrat community play on it. They'll put a black person in charge that has no qualifications for the job, and then blame the black people for it, when they knew this person didn't know what they were doing and should not be running the country. Not the country, or the city, the state, or whatever job is, just so they can say they're diverse and they committed to diversity, but not if they're not good for that job. Okay, and then also we have the single parent household, which is growing. It's like it's normal. I have my children and we're gonna co-parent and stuff like that. I can see if both of you are wealthy, but when regular people doing that, that's not good. That is not good. Mother, father, child in the home, that is how good societies are built. People are gonna argue that, I don't care. Mother, father, child, and maybe a dog or a cat in the house. That's a good home. And with the strange gender issues that are being pushed through the media, which you can see, men versus women, women have lost their minds, men's aren't providing. You can just see that's just an agenda that's being pushed. But children are being created, they're also being traumatized, which isn't good. And some people are not having children at all. And I would say look into the thing of immigration, the true events of immigration. That is a whole nother head case and a whole nother psychological warfare. And that pushes into the next thing, psychology. That's where I circled this, and you got the guy looking at the phone right there. This is the biggest psychological weapon out there for it. I'm on it, and I try to fight myself to being on it. I try to tailor when I send people Facebook's messages right now. I try to have a little bit more control because some people take what is posted on here very seriously when it could just be a 2-second thought. Especially females. Females take it very seriously more than males do. He posted this on Facebook, oh my God. Oh no, that was like a 2-second thought. But it's just part of the psychology. Women are more controlled by these devices. That's why they're taking 400 pictures of themselves a day and posting it on it. But our social, the real society is being faked to where people are trying to achieve what's on social media, which isn't even real. But people are finding that out too, that a lot of things that people are posting isn't real. The lifestyle that they're showing isn't real, which people have said for a long time ago. So that is a good thing. But it is still a problem. Like we got this Maxine person, this clavicle, whatever the hell, got kids telling them to take steroids, do methamphetamine in order to be thin, be 2% body fat and look good. Which it will, in the short run, will get you attention, but in the long run, you're gonna destroy yourself, which he has. He OD'd once, which I kind of think that was on purpose, or maybe it wasn't. But it is showed, and people can just see that. That's standard Hollywood protocol. You got the young hot actress. 10 years later, they're a basket case, and sometimes they end up passing away, or you just see that their life was horrible. Psychological warfare is big, not only in the United States, it is spread worldwide. Some people can see it, but many of the masses don't. They just like joining in. You got to think, people. That's all I'm saying. Just think. Whew. All right. And that is why we pray every day that the aliens come back to us. We pray for aliens to come to save us from ourselves. And I believe it'll be a good thing. If aliens were to come down and try to take over the planet and enslave us all, it would bring us all together. Or in the Terminator movie, Skynet, the computers would take over. Humanity would then come together and see each other as a unit instead of for individuals that are different from us. Unity is possible. We could make this world a lot cleaner, a lot easier, a lot safer to live in, but it's more profitable for a small group of people. They want the money. Even though after having it a while, they know it's not enough. That's why you see very rich and famous people, they have to spend more. I have a 100-foot yacht, I have a 200-foot yacht, I have a 300, I have 400, 500-foot yacht, and it has 4 pools. When you're on the ocean, and you could just jump in the ocean if you want to go for the swim. I just don't get the 4 pools things when you're on the ocean. Why do you have 4 pools when you're on the ocean? Maybe 1, maybe a hot tub, maybe. But that's what I said. People have so much money they don't know what to do. So such as like if you ever visit Dubai or Qatar, at least they have put money to me. I think they could put more. They put a lot of money in desert locations to make them look nice. The world could be a different place, but we just don't do it. And to me, I think it's partially programmed that this world, everything we're building has been done before, and then it gets wiped away. Then it gets wiped away. We build it and then it gets wiped away. That's what this planet is. This planet's not going nowhere. We are. Eventually it'll be like an extra sketch and God will just wipe everything away and we'll start over. A few will survive. and we'll start over. And that's just the way it'll be. Thank you.